Morning, Mr. Jones. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Who are you?
I'm Walt Roberts from Guarantee Reserve Life Insurance, and you had mailed this card in asking on some information. I'm here with that information for you. What I do takes about 10 minutes. If you're interested, fine. If not, I'll be on my way.
I don't remember sending this in.
Well, you know, I got to apologize because I should have been here a lot earlier. I probably wouldn't have remembered it either. But I should have got here about a month ago. Unfortunately, we had such a huge response to this card. I just was not able to get to everybody timely. Again, I apologize. And if you had a few minutes, it's pretty important information. I want to make, the company wants to make sure you have the opportunity to take advantage of this program.
Oh, okay. Let me see that card again. Honey, we got an insurance man out here that wants to talk to us. You want to talk? Huh?
Now, wait a minute here, Mr. Jones. I'm glad to hear that your wife is home. And if I could come in, it'd be best if you're both here for me to do this presentation, because this information is important to both of you.
Come on. He's forced his way in the door, honey.
One thing you want to do, folks, when you're working this LEAD program, one of the powerful things about a LEAD program is they all have their signature on here. There's 2 dates of birth. There's a phone number. These people have raised their hand. They're asking for information. They sent you this invitation to come to their home. And now you're there with the information, and the company's asked that you make sure you deliver that information. You've got to come in and talk to this guy. Now, if all of those things fail, and I never, by the way, I never work the telephone. Now, I know it's very important to know how to make and set telephone appointments, especially when you're working in large territories. But I usually, when I go into a district, I'm usually there to train an agent for a day. I don't have the time to use half the day setting appointments up for a week. So I very simply teach the agent to get the cards organized. We get the best set of maps we can for the area, and we just go door to door, knock on the door. And I'll give you a couple little tips when you're going to doors. It's just like when you're on the phone. If you don't smile on your approach to that door, when you're making a telephone appointment, when you smile, it comes through on the phone. Don't ever pick up the phone and start making phone calls with your face down. You just got bit by the dog or something, and you're over there going, oh, you didn't want an appointment, did you? You got to get excited. You got to smile, and you're happy to call them because you got some valuable information that they asked for. But the power of this card, and I know a lot of times you're going to be working older car. You go up to the door. First thing I do after getting this guy organized, and this is part of a presentation, you're going to hear this a couple, 3 times today. But the first thing that I do is I get organized with the guy. I get out of the car and I start waving at the house. Now, why do I do that? Because a lot of places where we work, people are looking out their window. Most of the time they're not, but if they're looking out their window and they see you wave, that's an indication that you've seen them and they know they're home, because sometimes people are reluctant to answer the door in person. So I get right out smiling and waving, not like I'm the tax man or the police or anything else. I'm just smiling and waving because I'm coming to see you. And I walk up to the door. I knock on the door and I say, good morning, Mrs. Jones. I'm glad I caught you home. You mailed in this card asking for some information from Guarantee Reserve about our small final expense plans. Company asked me to stop by today and make sure you had the opportunity to take advantage of the programs. Now, if you got about 10 minutes of your time, that's all it's going to take. And if Mr. Jones is home, I'd like him to sit down on it too. And if you just had a few minutes, now you look down and you start wiping your feet and walk towards them. You're going to go in the house. I'm going to teach you a little of this Combined Life, which is probably one of the best door-to-door companies there ever was. And a little thing that we've kind of copied from them is they would teach their people to get in a door by how they handed the card to somebody. In other words, the guy would come up to a Combined Life agent, and I teach agents to do this too, walk up to the door like this. Mr. Jones opens the door with his left hand or right hand. Okay, I hand him the card in this hand. He takes the shake. Now I got to hold the door. Now I have control of the door. Then, after a gentle conversation, you're looking at, you mind if I just come in for a minute, Mr. Jones? And you're walking right in.
You're backing them up.
You're in the house. Now, I know that these seem like tricks or gimmicks, but you need to use, like Gary says, every tool that you have in your toolbox. Very important. And these little psychological things work. Good morning, Mr. Jones. How are you doing today? I'm Walt Roberts, Guarantee Reserve. I've got the information that you asked for. I just need a few minutes of your time. You mind if I come in and spend a few minutes doing your work?
Well, listen, I just don't like salesmen in my house now.
Well, I understand, Mr. Jones, and I would have called and made an appointment first, but I noticed that your card was there. I saw the car in the driveway. I thought perhaps if I could just catch you home. What I do only takes 10 minutes. And I promise you one thing, Mr. Jones, if you're interested, fine. If not, I'll be on my way. And by the way, I have a very nice free gift that the company asked me to enroll you in this drug prescription program, which can save you a lot of money over the course of the year.
Well, I'm interested in this program. I really am. But could you just leave me some information? My son's going to be around 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'd like for him I don't do anything without talking it over with my son, and just let my son read the information, and then we can call you tomorrow.
Well, I understand that, Mr. Jones. How about if I come back while your son is here? I'd love to have him sit down at the absolutely, I'd do that.
Well, now he comes in, he stops by every afternoon around 5 o'clock and gets a piece of cake and a cup of coffee before he goes home.
That's perfect. I'll stop by at 5 o'clock, and if he's here, as a matter of fact, this is going to be of a tremendous benefit to him. You'll be doing him a big favor.
Oh, okay.
And I'm in. Good morning, Mr. Jones. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good to see you. I'm glad I caught you home. I've got the information that you sent for from Guarantee Reserve on our small final expense plans. Do you have a few minutes I could stop and visit with you and your wife?
Well, Mr. Roberts, you know...
You can call me Walt.
Okay, Walt. And I was interested in this when I mailed this in.
I understand.
But just the other day, a guy stopped by. I must have mailed in 2 or 3 of these cards. I don't know.
I understand.
But a guy stopped by the other day just like you. And me and my husband spent some time with him, and we've already ordered. We bought something from him the other day.
Boy, I'm glad I stopped. I'm glad I stopped, because that policy probably isn't enforced yet. I know there's a lot of companies out here that deal with the senior citizens, Scary. There's a lot of things that really aren't too good for them. And I'll tell you what, if you would allow me in, I could take a look at that program for you. We could compare it to what we offer, because I want to make sure that for you it's first day coverage, it's whole life coverage, and that it has cash and loan values.
Oh, okay.
Because if it's not doing that, then it's not good for you. There's a lot of stuff. I promise you, if it's the best thing for you, I'll tell you, thank you, good job, and keep it.
Okay, well, come on in.
All right. Boom.
You're going to run into that.
One of the best things that you can do, if you run into that situation where somebody just bought, and especially if they're seniors and it's a final expense plan, you'll find that you can, with Guarantee Reserve, you can beat about 90% of that business. Most of it is not first day coverage. Some of it is term insurance. Some of it, like AARP and a few other things, and probably shouldn't mention company names on the tape. In fact, I won't edit AARP out. But there are a lot of companies out there that don't have the first day coverage, and that sometimes the insurance is written in units, sometimes it's written on certificates. And if someone tells you they just bought, or they're just about to buy, or they're looking at something else, all you do is say, oh, I'm glad I stopped by. I got to tell you, Mr. Jones, there's a lot of things out on the market, especially in the senior final expense market, that just aren't too good for seniors. And I can guarantee you we're an A excellent rated company. We've been in this business for 50 years. That's all we do. We care about our customers, and we have first day coverage, whole life coverage that carries cash and loan values. And also, ours is a very simplified issue. You may not get issued in some of those other companies. With us, usually, even if there are some underlying health problems, we can usually supply first day coverages. So it would be in your best interest, Mr. Jones, to allow me to come in and review what you bought with you or what you're about to buy, compare it to what we offer, and in the meantime, you're going to get a very nice free gift from Guarantee Reserve just for allowing us to come in and give you the information that you asked for. Now, do you have a few minutes, Mr. Jones? May I come in and sit for a while? You had a question?
Well, I had found that it's not good to stand at the door and try to compete with price, but with product.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anything like this might be cheaper because that's not what matters. What matters is
strong point.
Exactly
That's a strong point. What you sell is a quality product. There are a lot of products out there that aren't anywhere near the quality that you have. And price, when you're talking about someone's final expenses, when you're talking about the money that's going to be used to bury them and to take care of those final expenses that are involved, that's important stuff. And price is not always, the cheapest price is almost not ever the best coverages.
Well,
Now,
Mr.
you
Robert,
don't even let that bother you. You go right in and go in against anything. And if the person has a plan that's better, and it could happen, if the person has a plan that's better or less expensive and does the same as you, you don't disturb it.
Right.
All you do is congratulate him on his wise decision, and then you go after, see if there's any other business in the family. Well, I notice you have some grandchildren over there. You know, we have an excellent grandchildren's policy. It's a 10-pay program. And we'll teach you this as we go through some of the mechanics of it. But the power of this card at the door, I want to teach you one thing about working leads, any way you work leads. The only time that a lead is not any good, or a burnt lead, is when you have had a face-to-face meeting with the person whose name appears on that card, and they either bought insurance from you or gave you a good reason why they can't.
Or died.
Or they died, or they moved away, or something like that. If they're, yeah, we don't want you to sell any dead people insurance.
Well, Mr. Roberts, if this is
Yes, sir.
insurance,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm insurance poor, man. I just can't afford any more insurance.
Oh, Gary, then you must have some poor insurance. That's all the more reason to allow me to come in, because a part of our program is a free insurance checkup or review. And I promise you one thing, if the program that you have is working for you and it's the best you can get for what you're paying, I'm going to just tell you congratulations and I'll go on my way. Does that sound like a fair deal, Mr.
Fair
Jones?
deal.
What I like to do, and you'll hear a lot of different ways to close throughout this school, and you'll develop your own style after a while. But when I get to the point where we're going to be talking about premium, I'll get to that page, and I promise the client, I'll say to him, you're going to be Mrs. Jones again. Mrs. Jones, usually when they see that money page, they start asking, well, how much is this going to cost me? And then I calmly reassure them. I say, Mr. Jones, we're going to get to that portion in a moment, and when we do, I'd like to be able to offer you the best program at the best price that we have available. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? Yeah. She always says yes. And I say, well, good. Well, how that works, Mrs. Jones, is you would need to authorize an automatic, you would authorize your bank to automatically make your payment for your premium each month. And that will save you about 5% of the premium over the length of this contract. And that's important. But secondly, and more important, it actually affords you a little extra security. I'll give you an example. Let's suppose you're away on vacation, or and the ship goes down, which we hope it doesn't. Or let's suppose maybe before you die, you spend a couple months in the hospital. Well, the last thing you're thinking about is making your insurance payment that month. And so the company, if you authorize the automatic bank premium, never has to worry about your coverage being in a lapsed state when your family needs it most. It's just a smart business decision. And that's probably the way you'd like to purchase your program, right, Mrs. Jones? Mm-hmm. All right. So what you've done there is you've automatically, before you even start to talk about premiums or go into the tri-level close, which is the best close in the industry for closing life insurance sales, you have eliminated most of the objections you're going to encounter when you're talking about bank service premium. And that's the way that I like to do it. Now, there are other ways. You will develop a style that works best for you. Certainly, we as a company want you to put as much business as you can on the bank service program, not because we're a greedy company, because it is best for the client and the customer. We don't have the lapse situation. Your business will persist at almost 85% naturally by putting it on bank service. And that equates to good for the customer, not just the agent.
Let's go through a rebuttal right here. I don't allow anybody to touch my checking account. I don't allow anybody to go into my checking account and get any money. You look them straight in the eye. Ms. Jones, let me ask you a question. Do you trust the mail service? You trust the post office? Mm-hmm. You do? Does your check go directly to the bank, or does it come to your home? That's not the answer, but most of them, that's okay. Most of them,
It's about, that's all right. What Gary's getting at is probably 85% of the seniors in the United States today have their check direct deposited. So the answer that normally you would get to that question, and you will get when you're in the field, is the answer Gary's looking for, which is yes.
Yes, I do that.
Say yes,
Ms. Jones, let me ask you one question. Do you trust the mail, the post office, with your mail? Sometimes. On the 3rd of the month, when you get your 3rd check, does it come to your home, or is it directly deposited in your account?
Oh, it's in my account.
Okay, why do you do that, Ms. Jones?
Because I don't have to worry about it.
That and the fact you don't have to worry about people coming by, getting your check out of the mailbox, or that check getting lost in the mail. Mm-hmm. You depend each and every month for that money to be in your account on the 3rd of the month. Is that not correct? Well, Ms. Jones, let me show you this. Guess how many times the Postal Service is going to handle your account with us? Now, we'll be glad to do it any way you want to do it. We can bill you direct, or we can set it up on a monthly automatic payment plan. But if you allow the mail service to handle your mail, that postal service is going to handle your mail 5 times. First off, the company is going to have to send you a notice. That's once. Here's the company. Here's the bank. And this is you. First of every month, the company is going to send you a notice. That's once. Is that not correct? Mm-hmm. You're going to turn around and write out a check and mail that back to the company. Is that not correct? Mm-hmm. That's twice. Now the company is going to turn around and send your check to the bank for payment. That's 3 times. Now the bank's going to turn around and send the company a receipt showing they received it. That's 4 times. Now the company's going to turn around and send you a receipt back showing that they received it. That's 5 times. Now, have you not heard about I don't know exactly where it was. I think it was Memphis. They went to a dumpster and they found 6 months worth of mail in a dumpster. What's going to happen to your insurance for any reason that the notice gets lost in the mail or the check gets lost coming back from you and you're involved in an automobile wreck and you're laying up in the hospital in intensive care, 34 days pass by the expiration and you pass away? All this program that you've designed for your daughter, the company is not going to pay the premiums. So the mail service is handling it 5 times. By using our special program between the company and your local bank, on the 3rd of every month, or the 5th, whatever you decide, the company is automatically going to wire to your bank. The bank's going to turn around within that same wire and wire the money back. When you get your statement at the end of the month from the bank to verify and balance your statement, there'll be your receipt right there on that statement. Now, Ms. Jones, what happens at death? Where do the children go to first thing at death?
Where the money is.
They go to the bank. They go to the bank. They pull your statement. And on the statement it has Guarantee Reserve Life Insurance Company. What are they going to do?
Check it out.
Sure they are. They're going to call the company. My mother's name is Mary Jones. Y'all been deducting $48.60 per month. What's that for? Oh, that's for a $10,000 life insurance policy for her funeral. Isn't it a wise business decision, Miss Jones, to allow the bank to handle it for you? What I need you to do is to sign the authorization right here, please, ma'am. And I need a voided check or a deposit slip. Now, I can put some money in your account with this, but I can't take any out, okay? Again, like Walt says, it's going to be your personality, but you got to learn to turn that situation around. You got to agree with them. You got to get them to thinking. You got to get them to thinking, well, my Lord, it's going to be so much easier for me to just allow the bank to handle it for me. You know, I got all these notices coming in. Go ahead, Walt.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you can't, I want to bring this up. Your direct written business, and we do take direct written business. Now, I know a lot of agents around the country sometimes have a aversion to writing it because it doesn't persist well.
And you don't get paid but once a month, you don't get it back.
But I do want to point this out to you. You're there working anyway. Even if this person only pays 1 premium, at least you earned the money for the time that you spent there. You're going to get commissions for that 1 premium. But direct business does persist at 60% or better, depending on how well you sell it. And we're going to show you this afternoon how to cement a sale so that even if it is directly written business, it's going to persist. So it is definitely in your best interest. If there's no checking account in the house, then you will run into places that don't have a checking account or savings account. Write the business direct. You're doing the right thing for the client. You're doing the right thing for yourself, because you will see on a monthly basis your direct checks start to build up monthly. If Fred was right in here, I'd ask him exactly what his was, and he'd give us some idea.
I'll give you an example. I have been out of personal production for 5 years now. I still receive a monthly direct check. and I still receive my renewal check from Guaranty Reserve. And it's a good check. So I'm not telling you not to write monthly direct. It can build up, and it does well. But you want to get the
Bank service.
Bank service. Again, persistency is better, and new business retention is better. And that's what we're here for. We're here to make the submitted check, but we're also here for retirement. We're also here for those renewal checks down the road, okay?
Drive by, walk to the door, have the card in your hand. Yeah, that's my signature. I really filled that out, but you know, I don't know. I have no idea what that card was about. I have a habit of doing that and sending everything back that I get in the mail.
Oh, I understand. I'm going to tell you why you filled this card out. It would alerted you to the fact that Social Security, if you die, is paying $255 one-time death benefit, and that made you a little nervous. What you were probably concerned about is maybe you don't have enough life insurance. Now listen, but Mr. Jones, I think I got a program that can really help you with that. And if you don't mind, and if you just for allowing me to come in and spend 10 minutes of your time, I'm going to give you a free gift that could save you $100 a year, hundreds of dollars a year on your prescription medications and stuff. I promise you I'll be brief. I won't take 10 or 15 minutes of your time. And it might be the most important 10 minutes you ever spend with somebody. Now, if you just have a few minutes, I'll be brief, I'll be gentle, and we'll see if we have something here that you might want to take advantage of. If not, Mr. Jones, I'm going to have to rescind the offer and take you off the mailing list, and you may end up with a problem in the future. So if you have a few minutes, please just let me come in and visit with you.